beautiful people, how are you doing? What's going on? It's great having you on the show, and this is Newspaper Banter. What Newspaper Banter does is it will bring you undiluted, raw, and controversial opinions and reactions of Nigerians from different newspaper stands in Abuja and surroundings. Right now, we are live in New Maraba, Nasarawa State, where we will be getting some of these reactions from Nigerians. Are you ready? Let's go.
It's high time every citizen should challenge himself to know that is a stakeholder in what is called democracy. For the fact that we elect people into power doesn't mean that we should remain as slaves forever. As people who elected leaders, we should be able to detect what we want and what we don't want. And that is what is happening in the West African countries. Because people remain in power. Look at what is happening in Gabon. Single entity has been in power for over 54 years. One family is in power for 4. So the other country, the other citizens who are born to be slaves under that president, it's not done. It is a challenge for each and every single individual living to know that we are what taking the challenge, the growth. Democracy is all about growth and development. All right? If people who went into power insist they will develop themselves and their family, we say no to that kind of democracy. Yes, we say no to that kind of democracy. You cannot be a Democrat and you only empower yourself, empower your wife, empower your family, all their children. They are not in Nigeria. They are not schooling in Africa. They are in the Western world schooling. Then our children remain in kindergarten and they are lavishing. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. Gone are those days. We should know. Everybody should arise. Everybody should live as a human being. For the fact that we elected leaders, we are not mad. We are not animals. We elected them for them to govern us and to govern us right, not wrongly. So, for anybody sitting down in the comfort of his soul, telling people in Gabon that they're not supposed to overthrow, we should ask, what has been the impact of democracy in Gabonese people? What has been the impact of democracy into Nigeria? Is it this one that we are paying for? Is there 2 kilometers we are paying for 2,000 naira to travel? Is that the democracy we are yearning for? We say no. We say no. Our leaders in Africa should arise to the occasion of being Democrats. They should arise. It is only when they arise and do the needful. You can see yesterday how people are demonstrating in support of the junta. Is that what we bargained for? So it's high time we should talk senses into our leaders, and we should it's only by Nigerian leader or African leaders, the language they only understand is protest. If you don't protest and tell them that what they are doing is unacceptable, they don't understand. So by the language of what happened in Gabon, Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea-Bissau is a way forward for West Africa if we need development. I rest my case. Look at it. Apart from Peter Obi, let me tell you, apart from Peter Obi, who has a desire innovation to come and turn around the fortune of Nigeria. All of them that are coming, they are coming because of the resources of Nigeria. That is, and let me tell you, today, let the geographers or let the geologians go to the south now and confirm to us that the oil in the south has dried up. You will see that all these are northern leaders. They will back up to contest presidency because they don't have it. What they have, they know they just know the legitimate means of making their brothers and their sisters This child is by oil. So if there is no that oil, how which innovation do they have to turn around the forces of Nigeria? None. Just one. All they did. Look at what is happening now. The general in Guso, who has a single rig of gold and all these natural resources mining, is there. That is what is making them to mobilize arms to be fighting and killing people because of those things in their own geopolitical. And this is somebody who was once a leader in this country, was once a leader in Nigeria, was once a leader in the military, and is yearning today to become even a governor of that.
I say I don't support military takeover in Nigeria. Why? Any military takeover nullifies every arrangement on our democratic move. If military comes in, the issue of knowing
your constitutional law,
whoever won the last presidential election will be crushed. And let me tell you, Tinubu will like evil military takeover, in the sense that if it is taken over, his name will be repeated and permanent as a president. Mm-hmm. And that is what he's looking for. He's looking for every means whereby what will happen, that issue of his nullification of election and nullification will not come in. That is why he's also gearing to make sure that he put he fights against going to war with what is it called, with Niger people, because they said if any president goes into war, that he has to be there at least for 4 years to be able to execute the war. And these are the devices Tinubu is using to make sure that his name is written as president. Because ordinarily, if all these can go like this, when the election is nullified, he does not have any reason to have his name written as a president of Nigeria, because he would have been made to live in shame.
But will it be nullified? Will the election be nullified?
Let me say that there's more possibility that the winner of 2023 election will be announced.
Wow. I bet you want to be part of this conversation or part of this show. You know what? If you want to get involved in our comment sections, drop your undiluted and raw opinions in our comment sections. And if you want us to come to the nearest newspaper next to you, drop your location and we will be there live and direct on Thursday. Remember, this is NewsPaper, but before we leave here, I would like to take to another spot in Maraba. But also remember that this is Newspaper Banter only on Oweleketv, and I am Hadiza Galadima. Okay, beautiful people, we are right here at one of the newspaper stands in Maraba. Remember, from New Nyanya, I told you we're coming to Maraba to hear all their opinions and raw reactions to the happenings in Africa and in Nigeria as a whole. So right now, we are at one of the newspaper stands in Maraba. Come with me.
My view on this Gabon coup is very simple. You see, some of these African countries some of these are African neighboring countries. Their rulers have ruled for a very long time. You discover that here we show somebody ruling for 43 years, 40 years, 38 years, and 37 years. This is not normal. And I'm saying this as an economic coup. Maybe this is the time the citizens try to take the power by try to put things correct, try to right the wrong right. But in such a thing, I don't think Nigeria, we don't need it now. Because Nigeria, as we are now, we are peaceful. Nigeria is a very peaceful country for now. We don't need such a thing, but it's an eye opener for our leaders to know how to do the right thing, to know to do the right thing, to avoid such a thing happening in Nigeria. That's the only thing I have to say about this. But in terms of the happenings in other countries, if a leader has ruled a country for 43 years, 40 years, 30 years, 27 years, I don't know what is he looking for there. I think he should leave for other people to try. Because one man cannot make a forest. At least you give chance for other people to try their best also. I think that is it. Thank you very much.
You see, let me just talk about the military coup in African continent recently, and as of yesterday again. It's like Africa really do not understand democracy. Democracy is a journey. It's a process. We can't expect democracy to just be like a military government. The best military government is the worst to Nigerian democracy. That is, the worst democracy is better than the best military government. So, what is happening now? People are seeing it just on the surface. There is something behind this. This is another way trying to bring down Africa back to the old years that we have left. And with God on our side, we will still win the enemies, because this thing coming back to Africa now, dictatorship. Somebody will just sign a budget because he's a military man and put it in his account. Nobody can question and issue a decree and he call that a leader. This is somebody who has been appointed the presidential guard in the palace. Overnight, you just get up and go and lock the president and say you are the leader. And that is unacceptable in the present modern 21st century politics, both international and local. Why should we allow this to happen? What is ECOWAS waiting for that they don't push those guys out of that place? What are they waiting for? No matter how bad democracy is, there's the time, like I give people some example about America. Black man in those days in the United States, you cannot speak to a white girl or approach a white girl. You cannot sit in the bus when you see a white man or white lady. But it came to a time, the same black people became the first black president of America. It's a journey. Everything about time everything about life is about time. When the time for it heals, we don't need to worry. Wherever you are today, it is where God has destined you to be. So don't be saying the military. What can military offer you? They have all these years, like our own country now. All these years that military were in power. What kind of economy do they practice? What blueprint to our industrialization and agricultural development? All they did is mono economy, just one straightforward economy. Oil, and that's where we have to be talking about endurance. It's a lifetime process. If you don't endure, what are you looking for? Are you looking for violence? If you don't endure life itself as a nature, why don't you enjoy the policies of your country? How long have we come up as a country after the British colonization? Are you understanding me? Yes. So it's a journey. America, we are talking America. We are talking about over 200 years of democracy. Russia, you are talking about that. We have been there from the old. So we are just making a step forward, day by day. We don't have to go back. It's a restoration to invite military to power at this point in time. We don't even need it, and we don't even need it any other day.
What happened in Gabon, not that I'm in support of military intervention, but when we look at the history we read in our secondary school that time, what are the causes of military intervention? They'll first of all tell you, when there's a total breakdown of law and order in the society, that's one of the factors. And the second factor is when there's destruction of lives and property. Then the third one, when there's election rigging or election irregularities. That is why one of the causes of military intervention. And today what we are seeing, when these things are in the play now, there's destruction of lives and property everywhere. There is a destruction of lives and property, insecurity everywhere, and people are not sleeping comfortably. People have left their comfort zones. They are taking refuge outside their ancestral homes. This has called for the leadership of the country to sit up. So assuming the leadership of the country are delivering good governance, I think nobody will be talking of a military intervention. I'm not in support of military intervention, but some factors has led to this. Our leaders, they swore an oath that they are going to protect the citizens of the country, but today they have failed. So what are we talking about? Not that I'm in support of what is happening in this, but Nigeria, I expect the leaders to see, to learn. What has happened to Gabon, happened to Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, they should know that something is about to happen. So I think it's a wake-up call. They need to do something, do the needful. Otherwise, whatever happens, the whole thing will rest with them. So I think that is my little advice about what is happening. Thank you.
So for my own view, what is happening in Gabon, it is welcome development, based on my understanding. Because things that can make military to overthrow government is happening there. Because there was a destruction of life and the properties. And everywhere in the world, before military go just wake up and overthrow the government, there are some certain things, there are some factors that is happening before the what is happening to Gabon today is happening to Nigeria. It's even more than what is happening to Gabon. Can't you imagine that in Nigeria they were arrested the bandit or Boko Haram and they will later grant the amnesty to them for which purpose? After killing of hundreds of people, they are granted the amnesty for them. So if Nigerian army can overthrow this government, I will be very happy because we are expecting Tinubu to solve our security challenge, and we don't even see the sign based on the four people that is appointed as a minister of defense. So we are urging our military, we are begging them to overthrow this government to make things in order for some certain times. When they bring everything in order, then they will hand over it back to the civilian government. So because there was destruction of life and properties, please and please, may our army wake up before this bandit and end and finish us. Let's army take action, please. That's my own view.
What happened in Gabon is a welcome development. You can see it from two angles. That is from the positive and the negative aspects. To me, yeah, when the government of the day, that is democracy, is not working well, I think it's the right thing for army to take over. What we are witnessing in Africa is not the real democracy that they taught us in the school. That is not what we are witnessing here. So to me, if you compare and contrast since 1999 to this moment, I think military have a good record, more than that of democracy. There is nothing. Check 36 states that we have. No one has been, as in, democracy doesn't have any hand in it. Check all the infrastructures, the roads. Just mention, all are being done by what? By the military. See what we are going through. Nigeria is one of the most blessed countries in the world, but we are living like somebody that's living beside the water and is still thirsty. We are walking like a lion, eating like an ant. So to me, it's a welcome development if that happened here. Thank you.
NewsPaper Banter. Keep on watching.
Okay, beautiful people, that's it from one of our newspaper stands in Maraba. And you heard the people. Some are with the military junta and some are totally against the military junta. What you think? Get involved in our comment sections by dropping your raw and unfiltered opinion in our comment sections. And you know how we do it. If you want us to come to one of the nearest newspaper stands close to you, just drop your location and we will be right there next week, Thursday, live and direct. Do remember, this is Newspaper Banter and it can only be on Oweleketv. I am Hadiza Galadima.